All right, welcome back finally to another Dragon Ball Super Card Game video. And today I kind of wanted to go through a pretty quick video discussing two different things. The first one is, are we going to see much of a change from now as far as set 14 just being released and before of set 13 and the format that we had before with. The second thing is that our circuit series for the season 2 just finally finished last week on Wednesday. We went through the top 16, everyone who was winning, getting points, etc. More information in the description below if you don't know already. And I wanted to go through all the deck lists, so in case you guys did want to have a best of 3 sort of shell to take into set 14 and make your changes, then go ahead and do that. Of course, this was a set 13 only tournament with the ban list in effect, and this is because of the date that it landed on, and it's always designed to be the week before the set releases, so that way I can give out a free box to the top 4 winners. This is sort of like the king of set 13, since the entire format for the circuit series, about 8 or 9 weeks, was set 13. Okay, why not just start with the winner of the circuit series, for at least for the top 16 files, which was by BillytheKid. He's actually periodically been playing King Piccolo for, I don't know, the last 3 or 4 times that he's played, and took down, I think, 2 different tournaments that we hosted as far as the circuit series. So it's not really that much of a surprise that he's playing it and that he won with it into the finals. I think he just like kind of edged in and was actually kind enough to give away his prizing to the last person, or at least to one of the people who didn't actually make it to the top 14 or to the top 4. Looking through it, there are a few one-ofs and some interesting options to consider, or at least that he considered. And just to give you a heads up, he did get the bye for the first like elimination, so a single elimination the first round type thing, but that doesn't mean he didn't get it like a chance to actually go through everybody else's deck, since we were streaming it, and it links in the description below, of course. But everyone's required to send in their list, so this was the list that he sent in before any of that. I think most of this stuff has like the regular King Piccolo things, right? So from the Yamcha counterplay to 4 of the Piccolo Jr., 4 Violent Rays. I'm actually surprised that he's playing at 4 because he has 3 of the testing opposition, and as well as as well as the King Saiyans negate. So I mean, there's like what, almost 12 negates. This is 3, 6, 10 negates right there. So that's actually pretty nuts. And 2 Wolfang Fists and the drum, the one of, which is part of that ban list that we know and love by Bandai. And then we also have a couple other techs. So again, the Bardock Fully Unleashed. I'm guessing the Violent Rays and the Fully Unleashed was really for the Dark Piccolo matchup. Thankfully, we didn't really see too many of those. We have seen them in the circuit series plenty of times though. And then we also have 2 of the Vegeta Unison, which is really cool because if you're going against the Mirror, or if you're going against Dark Broly, or if you're going against literally almost every single deck that we know of in set 13 and almost into set 14 now, where basically everything plays via skill. So you pay 4 for this guy, -2, you swing for 20, and then it's sort of sitting there and they have to deal with it, and as well as deal with not being able to actually play anything with skills, which is pretty annoying. I seen this King Piccolo pop up, of course, pretty useful for just using that activate battle or activate main, I believe, to get something from the deck, I do believe. And then the Kai for the secret rare is no surprise because it's so strong. 3 of the 1-drops here for both the extra card and as well as the King Piccolo. Of course, 4 piano, not so much surprising there. 4 of the tambourine does so much work, and then 4 of the symbol with 2 of the Piccolo that goes on top of the 1-drop here or the 3-drop over here. And then we have the sideboard, another Fully Unleashed, 1 Crown, a Retribution. I don't think he played any other ones in the side. That's probably, or 2 Crown or Retribution, sorry. That's probably for the blue matchup or anything that has open energy throughout the time. I think that's going to be pretty useful later on into set 14, because now green is going to have open energy for their own topo and all these other counter plays that cost energy, especially like Zamasu, might be the thing to snipe out their hand or force out their hand, basically. And then we also have Mechikabura for the Broken Seal. That's just really specific for any kind of matchup. Kaioken one more Wolfang Fist, Frieza Death Ball. Both are pretty clutch. Hand Destruction for Deborah, which is a pretty common thing if you look through all these lists. And then Omen of Awakening. I don't know what the matchup is for this, but it's a really good, strong card to pay for one. Technically, I think, yeah, you crit a life and then a 20 cost goes to drop. Overall, a solid deck, interesting options. It really worked out for him. I think another new ruler might do him some good, but that's pretty much it, honestly, for me. I don't play Piccolo too much, only played it on release. And it's really good to see, you know, such a strong deck, a really good player overall take it as well. Do I think that King Piccolo is going to go anywhere in set 14? 100% not. Like, I think he's going to stay and he's going to do a lot of good work, especially if red continues to be strong as it is. All right, we're moving on into VG time. So, oh man, I love seeing stuff like this, and I'm super happy that he decided to go ahead and play this, and as well as just play it in the best of 3 as well. He did really good work last time he played this. I think one of the Circuit Series he went 4-1, and overall the list is just awesome. We have a lot of the Cell Surge good stuff, from the Rebrand to the Cell to the Arrival to the Great Ape Saiyan Instincts, the Jiro to Aandroidd 18, and then a bunch of stuff that supports each other for Cell Chain. And yes, that is Cell Chain. He did play a one of, which makes sense because Cell, I mean, if you see it, you see it through the top 5, and if you don't, you don't. You have everything else to your disposal to use for hand destruction. But of course, if you played in what, set 2, set 3, these are very familiar cards. You go into the Cell to pops and draws. You go into this guy that drops till 3, and you know, things like this where there's really only 2 things that really kill this deck, or at least Cell Chain in general, and that's Frieza counterplay and as well as Trunks counterplay. If you're not playing against those, so if you're going against black, if you're going against red, if you're going against yellow, outside of Cold Bloodlust and maybe the Tyrannical Blow, you can play this deck and you're perfectly fine. I mean, you just have to put out the matchup for blue or play when they don't have a unison. Same thing for Frieza counterplay as well. But yeah, the 17 gets stuff into the drop, and as well as a target for the 3-drop cell. Same thing for Aandroidd 18 for both of these little ladies, and as well as this one for their Arrival. We do have this for free Arrival fodder as far as combo power. The Raditz is a nice touch. I actually do like it in Videl. I just don't think it's energy efficient. Rosie is cool, and then 2 Shocking Death Ball and 2 Frieza. I don't know. I would probably switch out the Time Magic for something else, but you do need a higher yellow count. So that's just what it is in order to get that for Awakening, that is. We're gonna go to the side deck. Bardock for King Piccolo, which did come in clutch. Tactical victory for the Aandroidd decks, and as well as King Vegeta. Big armor for the Dark Broly, probably. Koitsukai for red, and for everything else, Dark Power, same thing. Mechikabura, Great Seal, Red Broly, and things like that. And then Clash of the Masked Warriors, I guess, for Vegex and things that have unisons, which in set 14 is going to be pretty good to have. We see more of Cell in set 14. I don't know. It's gonna be tough to say. I mean, it's gonna be continuing to be a rogue deck that people will underestimate every single time. Every single time they see Cell, they're gonna say, "Oh, it's just Cell Surge, etc., etc." But I completely believe that a good pilot with a decent Cell Surge deck, and Hayden and myself have proved it before, you can do work, and you can get a lot of good results out of it. All right, yes, here is Getum's Gogeta Xeno, and if you're wondering why I'm not putting it out on like the deck list websites, it's because I'm lazy. So yeah, I'm going through 16 deck lists in sideboard, so sorry. But we have Gogeta Xeno. As far as this goes, if you haven't checked out the video for that, definitely go check out that. This is the updated version. You can join the Discord. I'm sure he'll answer any of the questions, or maybe even in the comments below. And I think he's in the Hermit Discord as well, if you're not in our Discord, or if he's not in our Discord. But a lot of cool one-ofs from the Rebellion Hammer back in action. Super Kamehameha, which is super annoying nowadays. Every Gogeta Xeno player plays Super Kamehameha. I'm like, I can't pay 3 for anything anymore. When they're at 4 or less life, that is. But we have 3 of the Relentless. I don't think there's too many new things. 2 copies of these guys. I don't know if there's, I guess for the, am I missing it? Yeah, here it is. They're just kind of all out of, they're all over the place. So Union fodder here, we have the 1-drops, we're pretty familiar. 2 of the 3-drop Kais, is just a really good card. 3 of the non-winter stamped and 1 winter stamped for the Gogeta. He's gonna have to upgrade those. 2 or 3 of the power burst, which makes sense because you can get back making an entrance, which also is Union fodder for the super combo. 4 of the TP is just exactly what you need. Marvelous Might in this build, if you're playing Gogeta leader builds, then you probably don't need this card, but this card is super good because of True Fighting Spirit, because of Haru, etc, etc. Well, not Haru, but you know what I'm saying. These guys, the 1-drops. Of course, 4 of the Pycon. Mira did see some play a little bit in the webcam series, so that's always another option for that. But Pycon is just super good just to boost up your 1-drops, and then 2 of the Tag Team Son Gohan. Looking good. Okay, I usually rotate these, but you guys can see it, right? 2 of the Protected the People for aggro, 2 of these for Dark Broly, 1 of the Class of Mass Saiyans. I probably would see 2 of them if you're really not worried for Unisons. 1 more Super Kamehameha probably comes out for the other counterplay, and then 2 of the Mass Saiyan. I'm curious why he doesn't main these. 2 of the Dark Black Mass Saiyan, 2 of the Vegetas for matchups, 2 Petrification, I guessing for like King Vegeta and like battle cards that do things. That's pretty much it. Nice. All right, moving on to Kuwait. So this is King Cold. There's not much I can really say about King Cold because King Cold sort of just does the same thing over and over again, which is why it's good and consistent. It's really just about ratios and maybe the 1 of text and sideboard. The Paragus is sometimes not what you usually see. Some people opt out not to get it out. It's just good for draw and just to trigger off some of the effects that you have for the field cards. For most of the field cards, except for 3 of the Unstoppable, and then 2 of the Terrified Realization, which both of those make sense. I think 4 of these guys might be good, but these guys do more for your hand, if anything, as well as certain situations. And then 3 Homicidal Clones, which is interesting because people keep opting into these being their main negates versus everything else, because you don't really see too many other negates here. And then as far as the sideboard, we have this 2 Secret Identity, 1 Vegeta Unison, Clash of the Mass Warriors, 1 Tactical. I'll probably get 2 of those in there, maybe even 2 of these, just switch those up, because it's just about consistency, unless you're confident in that for the King Vegeta matchup. 2 of these guys for barrier removal, 2 Big More for Dark Broly, and then 3 the Dark Power. This was the 2nd place list too, by the way, in case that helps. All right, this one is Spartans. I do believe this is Eric. This is King Piccolo. So if you've seen BillytheKid ping Piccolo, and then you've seen this one, you can see kind of the differences of choices for everyone when it comes to that. And he usually plays like Kai or something else because we're more on the local level as far as the decks that we play for the Circus series, especially since it's free. But we do have pretty much everything is mostly the same. But you can see some unfamiliar cards like the 2-drop drum that has double strike, and I think is the one that if they take a life for different for a skill, which probably is because of the 4-drop here, or for some sort of critical. I don't really see too much else that would do that. 3 of these guys that evolve on top of this guy, and as well as the 1-drop here, and then 1 of the testing oppositions, 2 of these guys, and then 4 of the Unison. So it's pretty typical, but 3 of the Topo is interesting to see. I think people are leaning away from Topo only because of counterplays in general, and that's why testing opposition is a little bit better because you can technically stop 2 attacks, that type of thing. Then we also have the Final Blow, which is interesting to see in the sideboard. I think this is good for, I don't know, I think this is good in King Piccolo. It's just that there's not that many situations that you actually do need the Final Blow. That's just me. And then we also have 2 of these guys, I guess for Mecha Frieza. We just don't see too much of Mecha Frieza in the Circus series. That's just not the format or the meta that we have for the community. 1 more Yamcha, 2 Beerus Ball, which is nice to see, and then 3 Dark Power with a Deborah. All right, this one's by Rockhead. We actually have a Shenron's Lair link, which is nice to see. We do have Jiren at the 1 of, which is surprising. I don't think he sides any more in. I would say probably 2 to 3 would be a good number for that. 1 of the Unison here, and then I'm guessing, am I missing something here? Maybe, oh, Yeah, 2 of the Unison here. So the Unison lineup is very, very interesting. He's going to have to let me know, you know, what the thought process is for the different Unisons that you would have. In my opinion, I think you should be consistent as far as what you want to see, unless that's just what you have. If that's just what you have, then that's what it is. Because you can see one of the Chain Attack Bardocks, that thing is $40. I'm like, playset's $120. That's just ridiculous. But it is what it is for TPs. One of the Goku as well. I mean, these things are searchable, especially with this guy. You can only search out the one drop Unison. But still, I still stand by that. Meaning the hidden ambitions, which is interesting. We have 3 of the Goku next level, so that way you can evolve with this guy and this guy onto that guy. None of the TP Vegetas, so I think he is just playing with what he has, which is perfectly fine, honestly. If you can make anything work with the stuff that you have, as long as you have decent cards, which you definitely do. One of the new rulers, same thing. And then if we look at the sideboard, not too much hate for blue, and we haven't really seen too much blue as far as this goes. Even Brandall was playing a black leader, so I don't know. 3 of the Oppressor Raditz, and the Transition Strike, which is cool because you don't really see too much of that. I just don't know what the matchup is for that one. The 2 Denial Hope, same thing. 2 more Topo. I don't see. Oh, 2 Topo here and 2 more Topo, I guess, for aggro matchups like King Piccolo or something like that. And the 2 After Image Techniques, and then 1 more Full Power. I think 3 is plenty, honestly. But interesting. I would definitely need to get some explanations for some of these options for sure. All right, moving on to Mario, or Noob. I don't even know his new name, but Mario. He played Mechikabura. He's been playing it for a good minute. He has some like interesting cards that he's taken in, like the 2-drop Vanilla Gravy with the Shroom and Salsa, which I do believe they play each other, and as well as the 3-drop plays out one of those targets. So that's probably most likely what he's doing here. If you're not familiar with that card, I think it says the leader card is a black Demon Realm Race. Place this card in your hand and 1 card in your life in your drop area. You send 1 card from the drop area to Warp, and then you can play up to 2 Evil Wizard, Demon Realm Race, and you can also 2 different character names that aren't Mechikabura from your deck. So that's definitely what he's doing here. So makes sense. There you go. I mean, that's what he's doing. And then we also have 4 of the Poutine, and then 4 of the good Mechikabura cards, 3 of the Ginyu, etc., etc. I think this is kind of missing a finisher. I would probably play out the super rares, or the Mask King, that type of thing, just so you can build a board and then later on finish the game. But if you're relying on Mira, I guess that makes sense too. Here's a sideboard. We have 3 Dobora, 4 Dobora, 2 more Dobora, but it has his face on it, not his name. And then 1 more Salsa, 2 Shroom, 1 Forced, and then 2 Majin Buu. So interesting sideboard. I think you probably need to look into, you know, what am I using to, again, finish the game, as well as what are my worst matchups, which is probably red, honestly. As far as the last 2 decks, yes, King Vegeta, as you can see, is going to be alive and well going into set 14. Mechikabura is going to be pretty cool as a rogue deck for sure. I think he solidly sits at tier 2. That's just my opinion. He like gatekeeps anything that plays a lot of battle cards, honestly. Same thing for Majin Buu, and that's just going to be a different conversation, different video. But I really do believe that Mechikabura has a place somewhere as a black leader, especially since Dark Broly got knocked down a peg a little bit. And then King Vegeta, again, same thing. Red, mono red, that is, red green, maybe even red blue, maybe. But mono red is definitely one of the places that King Vegeta sits pretty well at tier 1. I'm like, that's just my opinion. And as you can see, I have another King Vegeta deck. This one's by DisasterDan. So has the Vegeta promos, has all the Vegeta line, 2 of the Vegeta there, 3 of the Chain Attack Bardock, which is just really good because you're playing out all the red Saiyans for cheap or for free. 2 Crown in the main, which is pretty solid, honestly. I think it's searchable by 2 ways, 2 major ways. I think you main those for sure. 3 of the King Piccolo, or Piccolo Jr., 3 of the Imposing Presence, which is my favorite, 2 of the Testing Oppositions, 2 of the Death Ball, which is a staple in King Vegeta, in my opinion. The right super combo, 2 new ruler, 2 topo, etc. I'm sure you guys can tell what this is, right? 4 protecting the people, 1 of the KO Ken, which is great to see. I don't think he mained any. Oh yes, he did. He mained 1, so that's good. I remember on stream he board cleared 2 games in a row, so I was like, ha, nice. 2 Deborah, which is nice for hand destruction, 3 violent rays for the dark broly and things like that, and as well as Jiren, maybe even the mirror, that type of thing. 3 Jiren, and then 2 of the free negate, say no. All right, here's a red-green Vegeta by the CritGod, none other Eric. You can't really see these last 2 cards over here, but it's 2 Kaiokens and 2 Violent Rays, just as a heads up. But we have a lot of cool cards. I think he put this on his channel. If I can remember to put this link in my description, I will. But you can see here where he has more of a skill-less lineup, where you're playing out the Son Goten and Trunks over here, playing out the Great Saiya Woman 2, and then playing out Nimbus Master in order to play out the vanillas in this guy over here, and playing out the King Piccolo, or Piccolo Jr. Okay, let me stop rambling. I think what the game plan is, which I think he explains in one of the videos that he did make, I'm pretty sure he did, where you play out Bodyguard Legic, you play out Nimbus Master on their turn to play out a vanilla. You can use the Great Saiyaman 2 to play out another vanilla, or return it back to your hand. You can use Piccolo Jr. To rest down the vanillas, and then you awaken or put more things in your drop in order to use Dark Rejuvenator to restand a vanilla, or the King Piccolo or the Piccolo Jr. in order to use the effects for Alliance, and then Vegeta, and then all these other free plays. I mean, there's so much free play here, from Tao to Belmont to Resolute to Helping Blast. I think that's all what it is. Just super aggro, super hyper aggro, whatever you want to say. I think the Dark Rejuvenator is probably the only target outside of Bardock that Gohan triggers. I'll probably take out that. That's just me. Assimilate is just broken because you can just search out the Piccolo. Would love to see another target for that, but I don't think there's really too many. The Napus is searchable at the very least. I think he just didn't have two more of the Raditz or something else like that. I think he's only playing 2 super combos, so probably have to let me know about that one, Eric. Last time I looked at it, I thought you played 2 more. Thought you played 4. But 4 Crown of Retribution, which makes sense for counterplays and negates, especially in an aggro deck. 2 Final Blows, 1 more Toa, 2 Topo, 2 Beerus Balls, which makes sense for Topo. Well, not Topo, but other things. And then 4 of the cards that I mentioned before. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's down here. I'm blind. I was looking through it. I was like, I could have sworn you have 4 super combos. So 2 of the Nappa down here to get or enable the arrival and to have another alliance target. There you go. All right, here's Negrush's deck. This is cooler, so nice to see. It's a nice photo too. I actually like how everything's lined out and it's nice and colorful. Cooler, man, what a cool deck. I want this to be a rogue deck, but I don't think people have figured out Cooler, and I think he's just not there yet. I don't know, that's just me. But for this one, plays out all the red blue good stuff, plays out the full power, plays out the negate for Frieza, which unfortunately can get removed pretty easily. 3 Topo, which makes sense. 1 one-hit wonder for a 15k attacker for free. A lot of unisons down here that are expensive. I think I would probably opt out into playing the King Piccolo instead, or Piccolo Jr., or either one of these. Like, pick one basically for me. Play 4 of the Yamcha instead of 3 of these guys if you have them. And then Black Smoke for more mill, and then Cord's Tower for a double Senzu Bean. I think playing 4 Senzu Beans is probably a little better than siding these guys out. Speaking of side, here's another one that's upside down, or right sideways, whatever. 2 Koitsukai, just a really good card. 2 the Dial of Hope. Still don't know the targets for those, but I'm sure someone will tell me. This one for more aggro and just stopping a turn, honestly, and just minusing 2 things is just great. 2 Saiyan combo, which is interesting. I actually like Awakening Talent Pan and Cooler. That's just me. 2 of the Goku. I don't think he plays. Yeah, he doesn't play any other overrealm. So yeah, I think this in the main wouldn't be too bad, or maybe it was just the Bardock Draw 2 would be good for cooler. I think the Draw 2 Ape is also good for cooler, but that's just me. This light in my eye, man. Okay, 2 Mafuba, 2 combination attack, 2 testing opposition, some more defense. Nice. So unfortunately, we have to look at Chuck's deck as well. This is Chuckobros, who played set 7 Zamasu. I told him to sleeve up everything, so don't worry about that. This is just what is going on. This is just I don't purposely roast Chuck every single time that I can, but I'm going to. So there you go. Set 7 Zamasu. The game plan is just get strategy out on turn 4, turn 3, depending on what you have on the field. That's what I can see. It's blue yellow. I think it's missing a good few pieces, but you are playing the 4-drop or 2-drop, 4 of the 2-drop Goku blacks, and then the ramp line as well. I think you can just go good blue yellow stuff, honestly, even though you do have all the good blue yellow cards for this. But again, you just need a game plan to end the game, not only just to delay and to get to that turn 4. But I'm sure there's a few edits that you can do after this tournament and as well as the circus series. But sideboard, 2 of these guys in case they're stalling you out, which I do believe BrandallC did. He literally just waited at one energy until the entire time. 3 of the dark power, 2 of the Nimbus, 2 of the 2-drop testing oppositions. I forget. Oh, chilled army of reinforcements, 2 Deborah, etc., etc. Some more defense and options for you. Okay, this is Felipe's Mr. International. I think we have a few international people playing, but that's just, I always forget that he is. So it's more, this is Bardock, Bardock's crew, the red version. Has some red green, which is cool. Have the Gogeta and as well as Nappa. I think the Saiyan Youth or Raditz Saiyan Youth is probably a little bit better for this deck because you immediately go to turn or 4 life on turn 2 or 3, so you want those to be live. I don't think it's worth just getting the pop off here. And probably, maybe, I don't know. That's just me. I think more of these Rushing Warrior Pants would be cool. Nimbus of Voyager is interesting to see. Not too many people think about that for Bardock. And then Mercenary Tau for all the cards you could be playing out. And then the sideboard, I believe is here, whereas 4 Dark Power, 3 of the Gene, 3 of the Beerus Ball, 2 of the Raditz for blue, and then that's all you got for more things that play battle cards. I think Bardock is probably not going to be around too long. Not going to be around too much. Same thing for Zamasu. Both of them have pretty bad matchups, like 2 aggro, 2 removal hungry for Bardock. I don't think that we're going to see too much for set 14. It's definitely going to be more of a casual side for the circuit series, and as well as just locals in general. Those are probably the places where we're going to be seeing more Bardock. We do see a lot of Bardock, like red Bardock in the circuit series for sure. Also the Frieza secret rare, nice. Speaking of, here is Mr. Ira's. A lot more options here, more strategies, Universe 7, just like the previous deck. 1 or 2 of the Mass Saiyan Avenger from a dimension. It's actually, I think this is a draw 1, right? You just get the draw 1. So I actually think this is a pretty cool like budget option for Piccolo Jr. So like if Piccolo Jr. ever gets hit, I mean, that's, hey, there you go. Onion Awakening for the 5k boost for the turn, and some other familiar options and cards that we've seen. But pretty cool cheeky play with the Wheel of Iron to go ahead and evolve on top of the 1-drop Bardock or the other 1-drop Bardock. Really any Bardock, but those are going to be the choices for that. 1 of the Heartfelt Plea, which is nice in the deck. It sucks that it's at 1, but is what it is. Bandai do Bandai things. 1 of the Mirror in the side. Vados, the Death Ball, Champa in the side instead of the main, and then Secret Identity with the 3. Is that all you got? And 2 of the Vegeta for, I'm guessing, Mega Frieza. All right, next up is Yellow Gohan by PhillipT, and I like this deck. It's such a solid deck. It draws so many cards. It has pretty good, pretty okay matchups, all things considered, and a lot of energy manipulation, a lot of attacks. Just overall really cool deck. I mean, this is really reminiscent of most of the blue yellow Kid Gohan decks. We have the Unison of Fury, 3 of the Goku Black, some of the Basils over here, and then I think he is playing 4 of the Zamasu and then 4 of the hit. I think probably like 2 Zamasu or maybe even 1 Zamasu and then 4 of the hit's probably okay, because we have 2 targets, yeah, 3 targets basically, or 2 targets mainly, the Goku and hit, and then just really 1 of the Bojack. So I think you opt in to just go for the Krillin super combos instead. So that way, I mean, you're gonna get to 4 pretty quickly because of the leader and just because how the game is and how the format is. Yeah, I think you just go with the Krillin just to draw more and fix your hand a little bit more as well. But overall, really strong deck, especially with the Bardocks over here. And then the sideboard is over here. We have 1 Kami, 1 Dark, or 1 Deborah for the hand destruction. It's just, I think everybody just knew cells just around the corner, I guess. 2 Power Kamehameha, 2 of the Flying Nimbus, 4 of the Chi-Chis for the blue matchup. Interesting to see Fu here, but I guess for Dark Broly, 2 of the Takamajin for green or yellow, and then 1 of the Absolute for Baby. Kid Gohan has its place in the format for set 14. I think it's just going to be a deck that people sort of forget, and it's going to pop up here and there for topping lists. And people just got to realize, like, hey, it draws a lot, it has some bodies on the board, and it's going to swing at me as much as it can. So there you go. All right, here is Super Saiyan 4 by BrandallC, which is pretty interesting because he's been playing a lot of blue leaders, King Vegeta, I think, one time or another, but mainly the Xeno Goku deck, which I'm happy to see. Hopefully is a homage to myself, but not really. I think he just wanted to play this deck. It's pretty interesting to see all of the, I think this is more of like a test of, okay, is Vegeta's going to be the premier black burst leader, or can we venture off into Xeno Goku, Mass Saiyan, the Black Mass Saiyan, that type of thing? And I think this sort of answers that, where you can kind of do really well with bursting, and as well as just building out into like an Overrealm / Gogeta deck, where you have the Gogeta pieces over here. You can play the other Overrealms pretty efficiently because of the leader effect, and as well as just play out some of the other Vegeta's starter deck type things, from the Trunks to the Time Agent Vegeta, and as well as the Kai and Unison, where pretty much all these things are for free or for cheap, and you're going to be doing pretty well with the Vegeta just being Unipatora fodder, as I can tell. Then we have some stuff in the sideboard for, I think it's just like generic black stuff that you can use for removal, for aggro, for more aggro, Haro for green and yellow. Dark Backfire Mass Saiyan, I'm sure Deborah will pop up sometime or another with this. Super Kamehameha is really good in this deck as well. And just overall, just a really cool deck to see. And the Hashcats is a nice touch, so that way you can actually have more out of your deck to trigger the free stuff, and as well as for Overrealm. And of course, the Migra does just the Migra things. What do you want? What more do you want me to say? That's pretty much it. I've talked for nearly 40 minutes now. I'll put timestamps in the description as well, and I'm going to be going through some more gameplay and some more set 14 stuff, and then maybe take a little bit more of a break, an actual hiatus until the next set. Also, thank you to everybody who participated. It's been such an awesome time holding these events. Thank you to my team as well, especially Rob, who's just been putting more and more time into that. Egg, Espira, Dev, everybody who has been putting the time into the Circus series. Hopefully we can continue it. And honestly, I'm just more thankful to have a place for people to play and build a community based on that, and just give away some stuff, since I just like giving away stuff sometimes. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Until then, I will see you in the next one.